I have so little faith in my fellow man, my fellow woman too. And as for the rest of you, you never let me down when it comes to letting me down. Each opportunity, each chance to seize the day, in your indifference, you let it slip away. This is a mortal sin. It is no different. It is a mortal sin. I must apologize and beg you to forgive. It seems I woke today in such a bitter mood. The world is beautiful. You all are beautiful. Yes, even that one there. Yes, even you. For I forget myself. My heart turned black again. The future shines ahead. It shimmers in the sun. Freedom for one and all. Blue skies for everyone. Freedom for one and all. I am not cynical. I am belief itself. I cast away all fear. I'm not an angry man, but I have a sentiment. We have been here before this very gate, before this very door, with nothing keeping us from stepping right on through into a better world where love is everything. No hunger anywhere, revenge no longer sweet. The road beneath our feet, it stretches on and on into the promised land where Moses never tread. Yet I am full of dread, as in that certain dream, it never leaves my heart. That dream I dreamed before. We stand before a gate, before an open door, with all we ever asked, ours if we only ask. With God and all the prophets, yes, and the Buddha too, and that great goddess Earth, welcoming me and you, standing with arms outstretched, welcoming me and you, yes, even that one too. And yet before my eyes, before my very eyes, the vision goes askew. The darkness comes anew, and we dismiss the prize. We turn our hearts away. We spurn the offered gift. We turn our backs to it. We close the open door. We close the open door. We slam the open door. We slam the open door. But did you die? That question confronts me nearly every time I open up Facebook or Instagram or a web browser. Somehow or other, the internet has decided that I like police and military clothing. Probably because I've ordered ammunition online, because Texas, as well as uniform pants, boots, and the like for chaplaincy needs. Now, I like to think that because these items are ordered with about the same frequency as Grateful Dead-themed face masks, 144 smiley face rubber balls, and 5-pound bags of raw sesame seeds, that I have caused at least one artificial intelligence to crash. Process that, Skynet. Anyway, one of the t-shirts that is possible among what is apparently my demographic asks that question. But did you die? On the one hand, it's a sarcastic response to complaints or stories that seek to enthrall the listener with the promise of danger. The line, "But did you die?" can be read as dismissive and disinterested, as though if you did die, it would be a better story. Yikes. On the other hand, it can be read as encouraging. You're still here telling the story. You didn't die. You're here fighting another day, so get going. Perhaps I read too much Talmud if a snarky t-shirt can provide me this much material to explore, no pun intended. On this day, our liturgy suggests, our fates are sealed for this coming year. Who shall live and who shall die? Who by fire, who by water, who by war, and who by beast? who by earthquake, drought, who, in this year, by plague. This litany of possible fates is meant to help us confront our fear. Even though our religion forbids such superstition, the belief in our ability to bring or fend off disasters beyond our control is the most persistent of our idolatries. Instead, we are urged to let go and let God. And if we die, well, that will be the story of us. But as Joseph Fink has written, and I have sermonized upon before, death is only the end if you assume the story is about you. So let's ask the question, what if you don't die? What if you are merely disabled, crippled by illness or accident? Those of you that have had that very experience will understand first how important gratitude is, and second, how selfish it is for people to expect you to make them feel better about your situation. And what if you don't die, but someone you love does? For many of us, it is not oblivion we fear, but of continued existence without those we love, those by whom we frame and define our place in this world. I'm sorry your friend died, but you're still alive. I'm sorry you watched your parent decline and waste away, but what are you complaining about? You had a life with your parents, and you now have a life without your parents in it. Just remember, all lives matter. Who would say something like that? What kind of person responds to trauma that way? Quite a few, it turns out. Far too many, it seems. The Hebrew word for life is structured like the word for water. When we toast, we don't say l'chai, but rather l'chaim, that is to say, to lives. The Torah portion that follows the binding of Isaac is Chaye Sarah, the lives of Sarah, noting that she experienced multiple lives in the course of her years. Ask any recovering addict or survivor of abuse what that is like. The groundbreaking work of Bessel van der Kolk is something I've become familiar with during the lockdown and these past months. I participated in a conference on trauma and its aftermath, its treatment and mitigation, and I became a member of the Trauma Research Foundation. Dr. van der Kolk has said that trauma is what happens when we are not seen. That is, our reality is denied. Our existence as a living, sentient, independent human soul is ignored or dismissed by another individual or power. There is little more traumatizing than the realization that your very life does not matter to another person in power over your life. God defend us from such horrors. No occupation is more exposed to trauma firsthand or vicarious than law enforcement. There are more dangerous jobs, but none more traumatic. And there is no group in American life more historically traumatized than African Americans, who, despite what some may want to believe, continue to deal with the legacy of internalized racism. Police are underfunded, overworked, underpaid, understaffed, and overlooked until there's a crisis. It's shameful how ignorant people are about what it means to be a police officer, and more so, to be part of their family. They deserve better, more funding, and more support, and more training. They deserve better because we deserve better policing. Similarly, unless you're Black or in a mixed-race family, I assure you, you have no concept of what being Black in America is like, any more than our friends can understand what it's like to be Jewish and have to keep your synagogue doors locked at all times and be scared of visitors. Let us be peacemakers. Let us be advocates for reconciliation and understanding. Let us be teachers of Torah to a world that needs it so very badly. It's not how and why our lives end so much. as it is the quality and circumstances under which we live that matter to Torah, to Judaism in general, and to the prophets we venerate. It is what we do with the lives we have to live that matters most. It is the purpose of this day to bring us closer to the vision we have of God and God's desire for us as spoken by the prophet Micah. Everyone will sit under their own vine and under their own fig tree, and no one will make them afraid, for the Lord Almighty has spoken. Are we engaged in making the world more whole for everyone? Are we healing trauma or perpetuating it? Are we working the prescription of Micah in pursuit of his vision? He has shown you, O mortal, what is good, and what the Eternal requires of you, to act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Life's value is not simply determined by how it ends. Its quality is judged by how that life is lived, what possibilities and support there is, what circumstances one is expected to operate in, and to suggest that there is no born disparity of experience between us and the people that live just south of Cypress Creek Parkway, or in the hollows of Appalachia, for that matter. To do so is to deny reality. We know that everybody doesn't start off in America or anywhere with equal resources and a level playing field. This isn't the Garden of Eden, but this is the garden we have been given to tend. We are called upon to make it better for everyone, or die trying. Gamar Chatima Tova.